Say your
Somebody else got
indiscretion.
canceled though.
Who's that?
Somebody got canceled. Somebody got
Who's that?
fired. Raiders coach.
Oh shit, John Gruden. Yes,
That was
John Gruden.
yeah.
Yeah, and honestly,
So
this kind of
on the other side of the spectrum,
okay.
this was not in a venue where it was presented as a joke. It was not in a venue where it was presented as art.
No
This was
joke,
a
no art.
private conversation.
Yeah. Do you know like the
So
specifics as to what happened here?
not the specifics. I just know some emails were dug up and
Okay.
it got ugly.
Do you know why they were dug up? Which is kind of key here.
I
Do
do
you
not know why. No, I
okay.
don't.
So just a quick backstory to anyone that's listening. So some emails were dug up and it put the coach for the Los Angeles or the Nevada, I'm sorry, the Nevada or the Las Vegas Raiders, their head coach in a bad light. And the reason why they were brought up is because there is an investigation into the Washington football team's allegations for sexism and racism and a whole bunch of just bad shit. And in the mix of that, a lot of emails were dug up that
Mm,
had to do with John Gruden, who is now the Las Vegas Raiders head coach. At the time, he was a commentator for ESPN.
got it.
And
Okay.
the initial reports were that the emails were some disparaging comments on, I think, um, the NFL Players Union head leader, who was an African American, a black guy, and
Yeah.
it had some comments about his lips. Now, we're not gonna play coy here. We're not gonna play dumb here. We know that that's off limits. I don't
It's
give a
off
fuck.
limits.
It's off limits because there's a stigma to it. There is a stereotype to it. You know what it is, and he knows what it is, right?
That's why he used it.
That's why I used it. But before you comment, let me just get this off really quick.
No, go ahead, bro. Go
This
ahead.
kind of correlates with the whole Dave Chappelle point in his stand up. If you were able to stomach the first 5 or 10 minutes, he actually got to a very valid point where he said, why is it okay for something disparaging that happens to a black person can be overlooked or okay, but
Hmm.
once you dive into the gay pool, that's when all bets are off and things need to stop and come to a screeching halt. This is kind of an example of that. So
Okay.
John
So
Gruden,
he wasn't. So it wasn't for the emails that the racism were in.
so yeah, the big lip
Yeah,
email,
yeah. The big lip stuff.
that one was gonna get swept under the rug.
No shit. Really?
He was gonna be able to escape with that. He apologized to his
Oh,
team, which is like
80% black.
98%, yeah, 80%. That's no, that's like 98% black. He apologized to them, apologized to the league and made his apologies, and we were going to accept that.
Were
But
you?
then personally, no. But
Okay.
in the overall scale of things, it was going to get swept under the rug. And as a community, listen, I don't care what nobody says. The black community is probably the most forgiving community on a planet. So if there is any like lingering racism from on our part, it's kind of warranted because
If Titus O'Neil
it
can
is.
stand next to Hulk Hogan, so can I.
Anyway, I won't even touch that. So the next set of emails that came out were homophobic. Um, they were talking about women and cheerleaders, and it was just all types of bad. So now that we're talking about the homosexual community, we're talking about women, we're talking about like different races. Now he has to go. Now he has to be canceled and he's gonna get fired. This is exactly what Dave Chappelle was saying in his in his stand up. Like this was the greatest
It's
example.
not trying to say that my fight is more important than yours, but I'm
Graders,
jealous because you are succeeding in your fight. Is that what
yeah.
you know?
It's like you can have something shut down. You can have a head coach that is revered shut down because he spoke about your community. But when he speaks about my community, it's cool. It can be swept under the rug.
Put out
It
a statement, an
it
apology statement, and then we're gonna move on.
it's forgiven. It's forgiven. It's forgiven. This is the conversation I actually had in one of my group chats, and I asked the question like, "Why is that okay? Like, why is that cool? It's not."
That's like the anti-Asian hate law or anti-hate crime law that they did.
Came out of
You know,
nowhere, and it
I
came
mean, they
quick.
as
It came out of
deserved and
nowhere, and it
everything.
came
You know,
quick.
because
No, it's
they were
deserved.
facing some shit, very deserved. But
Where,
now
where, where's our I
where's
hate
the
law?
anti-black hate crime?
Where's that?
Mm.
These are just questions that you need to ask yourself in this day and age. It's just I don't want to dive too deep in this because we have other topics to get to,
No,
but
yeah,
like
yeah.
what's your take on that? Like what is your take on John Gruden and emails coming out though?
Just there's no
Exactly.
place. There's no place for. There's no place for that shit. And like I said, it was not done in a forum setting where it was presented as a joke, as art, and to make people laugh, and you know it would this was done privately,
Yeah.
and I don't know it would if I did a black joke with you in an email and I got dug up, do I get fired?
Depends on what kind of black joke. I mean, I don't even think like I don't think in this day and age.
But then it's to you. It's not like us talking about somebody else, you know. And the fact is that he did it with malice. Like he meant to make fun of it and hurt like hurt feelings with it. And
Think
no,
I
there's
don't
no
think he
place
meant
for
to
that.
hurt feelings. I just thought that it was just him being uncandid and he didn't worry about the ramifications 9 years later. Like, just understand this is like 9 years ago. So it was like
So
nine
9 years
years
ago,
ago.
we still had Tyrone Biggums and
Yeah,
Clayton Bigsby.
9 years ago, he wasn't on an NFL team, so he didn't give a fuck about Roger Goodell, who we also made some disparaging comments about, and he didn't care about who right now is the current NFL commissioner. He didn't give a fuck about that shit. So it
Who
was
was the owner of the Clippers too, right?
oh
The
Sterling,
owner of
right?
the
Sterling.
Sterling.
Uh
Yeah, Sterling. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. But yeah, again, those are these are the conversations that are happening behind closed doors that are not supposed to come to light. And now they are. It's like, do we have a bigger problem here? Which, if you ask
I
me,
feel like the
yes.
problem is in the office's response
I
because
don't.
now that I'm
I'm a
thinking of Sterling,
yeah.
now that I'm thinking of Sterling, the NBA commissioner that walked in, that was like his first act to get rid of this dude. Could it be an in office response deal? Could the issue be with the office? And like, damn, I mean, there's just no place for that. Like,
I am a huge Dallas Cowboy fan. I am praying to God that there are
Mr.
no
Jones,
Jerry Jones. You know Jerry Jones said nigga before.
me and Mrs.
You
Jones,
know Jerry has
we
used the
got a
N word
thing.
just casually before. You know it. You know it. I haven't seen the pictures of him grabbing on fucking college girls drunk as fuck. That type of guy, he has definitely said the N word before. I'm hoping the guy because I'll cancel my team. I'll stop
You
being
okay? The whole team,
I'll stop being I'll stop being a Cowboys fan. Absolutely.
even if they get him out and they change
He's the
ownership.
owner.
No, they change ownership. They got rid of Sterling, right?
They should have fucking got him out when they had Jason Garrett as the fucking head coach. So like, are you kidding me?
Oh,
Like,
that's a whole nother
get
thing.
the fuck out of here, bro. They're not the only way Jerry Jones is getting taken out is in a body bag. And I'm sorry to say that, but that's the truth. Almost like Vince McMahon. The
He's gonna go
only
out like a
way,
cowboy.
the only way he's getting taken out is in a body bag, and that's unfortunate. But yeah,
That's unfortunate.
there there are some
This probable racist.
definitely some Jerry Jones emails floating around that he does not want to come to light, and I hope I
Well,
never see him
you know how many coaches and owners like you better delete all those shits right now.
right now.
They all got on the
Right now,
phone with the
I was
secretaries.
listening. I was
They're
listening.
giving out bonuses.
I
They're
don't
giving
know.
out early Christmas presents.
I forgot what I was listening. Like when they were talking about John Gruden, they were like, John Gruden was just enjoying his Tuesday night, with the wife, out at a
Watching The
restaurant,
Voice.
eating some steak or some shit like that, and he gets the call, and he was like, "Yo, they got us. Yo, they got us.
They
What do you
found
mean?
out.
What they got it? The emails. What emails,
They found the
bruh?
bodies.
They found it. They found it,
They
and you're
found the
done.
bodies. What
And
bodies? No, the bodies from 9 years ago. You remember
yeah,
those bodies? The ones you told me to bury.
this is some scary shit. That anything that you 10 years ago can get you canceled. You gotta be. That's some scary shit, dude. Like
But 10 years
I'm
ago,
I'm not the same person I was last week.
I was about to say that 10 years ago, you weren't the same person.
Like I'm not the same person I was. I'm not trying to give anybody an out or try to give anybody an excuse. I'm not the same person I was, a week ago. And you're trying to dig into my past 10 years ago? Holy shit. No, thank you. Because I probably said some wild shit. Yeah, I probably said some wild shit, drunk as hell, 10 years ago.
I remember.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad I didn't
Yo,
have
dude, have
Twitter 10 years ago.
oh
I'm
no,
glad I
yeah,
didn't.
no, Twitter's
Yeah,
a
I didn't.
fucking cesspool.
Yeah,
Twitter is
that's
like
if you
the
notice,
dirty
that's where a lot of people
fucking
are getting
bar.
caught. That's where a lot of people are getting caught on Twitter.
Yeah, because that's where you find out how the wheels turn. On Facebook, on Instagram, you're putting up cool pictures. On Twitter, you just like
Letting loose.
you should smell this dude in front of me at Starbucks
Yeah,
right now.
you're just letting loose. Yeah.